It's your boy, Ed the Dread, aka Eddie Money Mouth. And you are tuned into the Money Mouth Podcast. Yes, sir. Welcome back to your Money Mouth Monday. Whew. I mean, a lot we could talk about this week. But I'm going to take two things that are just out there that I see all the time every day. And one, that's pipeline. Woo! If you don't know what pipeline is, the Banzai Pipeline. The craziest left to go down. All right? The Warrior Arena. The proving grounds of the North Shore. There have been a number of injuries. So we'll talk about some of those. And also in the news recently is your dumb idiot politicians, Scrump and his left-hand man, because I don't even know what he be doing with his right, something you wouldn't even want to know about, right? Elon Musk. So, today's topic, what type of man do you look up to? A pipe warrior or a politician? So if you don't know where the Banzai Pipeline, it's 7 Mile Miracle, North Shore of Oahu. Listen, it is it's the end all be all of waves when it comes to surfing, right? A stretch of land that has more peaks than the Himalayas, all right? More barrels than a mole burrowing a hole. But no, in all seriousness, Banzai Pipeline, very dangerous wave, definitely the deadliest wave on the planet as well, right? So at this point in history, there are a lot of people that just wear helmets. And to be fair, one of the gentlemen that we're going to talk about today actually was wearing a helmet the day of his injury, right? So the thing about pipeline is almost the same about what happens on Maui. You know, there's just a lot of people trying to surf a good wave. With the inception of helmets, and younger surfers wanting to get a piece, I would say probably videographers, and just the fact that, people want to prove themselves and score a wave there. It ends up that there's a lot of people there, right? And I've been on the bottom end of this one here at places like Honolulu Bay, where, the cave is a barrel that a lot of people want to get. And on a really good day, people could show up from other islands that are rippers. And, if you're just a man that moved here and you're trying to earn yours, you're going to have to take waves that people don't want, right? And even the best wave could mess you up. But the wave that you don't really, that it's not 100% going to stay open, it might close out down the line. There's 5 other people taking a look, you're real deep and someone else on the shoulder and they think they're going to get it. And there's a lot of things that go into play that could lead to injury, regardless what place you're at, even if you're not at pipe. But that's just, how it is. There's just a lot of people trying to get the wave. There's a lot of people trying to prove themselves. There's a lot of people trying to get a piece, and everybody's fighting for a limited resource, right? It's not a wave pool. You can't just crank the thing on anytime you want and turn the lights on at night and run it all night, right? Sun up to sundown is all you got. And depending on the tide and the swell and the wind, it's a thing. So again, limited resource that a lot of people are trying to get a piece of. Now, when it comes to people that are very good at riding pipe, the first person that comes to your mind from the new age would probably be Jamie O'Brien, right? Now, I actually spent a 12-day trip filming for the Juke Squad roughly, 6-7 years ago, pretty much helping Jamie O'Brien start his new YouTube channel, which was like his own thing, his own growth off of the Red Bull JOB 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, whatever, however many series they had of him. So I actually met Lucas Godfrey on that trip, and he is just a ripper. I believe the crew they got is called the Cave Dwellers. He's a regular footer, so very good riding at backdoor, and that is actually where he was injured. So again, a day where it's just big and barreling. The reef is very shallow there. Lucas took off on one, and he had to eject because it was going to close out, and ended up being slammed on the reef. And I believe I want to say shattered one of his discs in his vertebrae. L1, I believe. But it was necessary to have people help him out of the ocean, right? And again, it's training that I've had as ocean rescue lifeguard. It's training that I've had as a surf coach here on Maui. It's training that our head coach, Jeff Smith, bless him, has put all of our athletes through on our surf team. But being able to, pull someone out of the water properly, and if need be, provide them CPR, that is a very good thing to know if you're a person that surfs anywhere in Hawaii, because the waves pump here a lot, but especially if you're near a place that has big waves and or you like to surf those waves, it's good just to be safe. Lifeguards aren't on duty from dawn till 8 a.m. right now. More recently, Makai McNamara was found unconscious after a wave at Pipe, and brought to shore and revived, and then I believe at the hospital maybe even put in an induced coma so they could clear his lungs of water, and just a whole bunch of crazy shit. I haven't read much more on it, but for both of these individuals, we're putting positive intention out to all of y'all for a speedy and full recovery. But just to goes to show, I mean, he's from a family of big wave surfers. His brother just won the Eddie Aikau Big Wave Invitational, that only runs when the waves are huge enough, right? So this isn't something that only happens to people that don't know what they're doing. You can know what you're doing. You can be the best surfer out there, and this can still happen to you, which is just a part of any athletic activity. But when it comes to surfing, if you're surfing waves over reef that are bigger than like knee high, waist high, there's just a factor involved that is a risk. I mean, I've been drug across the reef on just a chest high day and like thought I broke my arm and ripped my wetsuit open, and it was one of the gnarliest experiences ever. But that's chest high. That's not barreling overhead, double overhead. So it is what it is. But when you think of people that are risking themselves for the enjoyment and athletic prowess, you got to give it up to the surfers, especially people that are riding Pipe and Nazare, Pe'ahi, places like that. Like it's pushing the ability of humans, pushing human limits, right? And a lot of people look up to those people. I mean, I'm a person that looks up to people that ride waves like that, but there are also a lot of people that look up to a bunch of idiots. And there's a bunch of idiots out there, namely politicians. Okay, now the two that have been in the news the most recently is, again, Scrump and his right-hand man or left-hand man, Elon Musk. And it's just a crazy thing to me that there are people that will literally, I mean, I've had people walk past me out here wearing Make America Great Again hats and just blaring Trump here in Hawaii Ne, where you should be trying to, help restore the culture as opposed to impose this bullshit, right? But we're talking about two dudes who have like too many kids to count, right? I think if you add them up, the two of them guys got 20 grams between them, right? Scrump's working with like 7 from 3 different chicks. And if you've ever seen what he says about his daughter, oh my God. Like,
said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
By the way, your daughter.
She's beautiful.
Can I say this? A piece of ass.
Yeah.
She looks more voluptuous than ever.
She's actually always been very voluptuous.
What's the favorite thing you have in common with your father?
Either real estate or golf.
Donald, with your daughter?
Well, I was going to say sex, but I can't relate that.
Yeah, she's really something, and what a beauty, that one. If I weren't happily married and, her father.
Yeah. And then we got your boy Elon, who has like 12 kids by 3 different chicks. And more recently, I don't know, some Instagram chick or some social media influencer just came out talking about she's got a couple-month-old baby who is his. So he could have 13 by 4. But also, one of his baby mamas has been like bombarding him on Twitter or X or whatever the fuck you call the thing now about helping out with their child that has, and again, it's like, I laugh because of how shitty the humans they are, not because of the situation that they're providing for other people, right? But she's got to go on social media to try to hit this guy up to get him to help with some issue with their kid. And it's like, if he don't respond to your calls and he don't do this, and you have to take it to fucking a social media platform that the guy owns, that's just fucking sad, right? But these are the guys that everybody, or not everybody, but a lot of people are cheering for right now, right? And I mean, come on, dog. Womanizers, ridiculous capitalists. The reality of it is these two motherfuckers are immigrants and they're just shitty business people, right? I don't think Trump's fucking last name is actually Trump. I think it was like Drumpf or some shit, and they like changed it, and they fucking boated over here. And then everyone knows Elon's bitch ass is from fucking South Africa. And then if you even take that further, come on, white people from Africa. So he's some Dutch motherfucker who fucking stayed past colonialism, and now they got them motherfuckers out there going, yeah, we need fucking white freedom in South Africa and bullshit. But I mean, these motherfuckers are the two leading the charge on kicking other people out of the country for immigrating, right? They're the two people who are now just firing everybody. I mean, bro, I think it was and I go to state parks here on Maui. It's not like I went to it wasn't a thing of mine to go travel to state parks in America land, right? But my dad and my aunts, that's like one of their things. They got this little passport. They go get it stamped at the state parks, da 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 da. So like, in their rush to fire everybody federally that's not doing anything, they fired the only person who can unlock the bathrooms and get people out of a stuck locked bathroom at Yosemite State Park, which is like one of the fucking like biggest national parks, got the most people rolling through. Homie went in there to take a boo-boo, got locked in. Now he's gassed out by his own fucking feces. But hey, fuck it. We had to fire that guy because, he couldn't respond to an email because he was out in the fucking field. But he had this email that he was supposed to tell us what he had done in the last week so that we can decide if he is worthy of even being paid anymore. And that's where we're living. So the question you can ask yourself, and I mean, I know I stated this as what type of man do you look up to, a pipe warrior or a politician? But this can be applied to women too. There are chicks that are ripping pipe, and there are also chicks who are horrible politicians. So either way, who you looking up to? A person that dedicates themselves to something athletically and mentally and physically and, for a lot of us, fucking spiritually too, right? The ocean, a part of nature, or a person who just walks all over other motherfuckers trying to look cool, impregnating as many people as they can, can't keep their Johnson in their pants, fucking can't even do a push-up, probably can't even see the Johnson, but it still works somehow. You know what I'm saying? Like, look down, can't even see the Johnson, and still just willing to blast it into people who I don't even know why they're willing to take it from you just because you got money. What a world. Hey, and that was your Buddy Mouth podcast. You know what I'm saying? You be the judge, baby. Who you looking up to? Doesn't matter if you want to look up to neither of those type of people. Live your life to the best that you can. Try to be better than yourself yesterday, today. You heard? Click like, click subscribe. It's your boy Ed the Dread, a.k.a. Eddie Money Mouth. From the north to the south, from the south to the north, to the island on out. A hui ho, kako.